Part 2 of DBQ writing, the introductory paragraph. The introduction has three parts. First one is a hook, something to grab the attention of the reader. The second is restating the historical context. You're paraphrasing and putting it into your own words. And then third, taking the two tasks, or the two bullets, and writing a controlling idea or a thesis that you will be addressing throughout the entire essay. Your planning page for your introductory paragraph looks like this. You've got a hook, a motivator, an intention grabber, and the easiest part to use for this as a starting point or a reference would be your writer's handbook. If you turn to page 5 or on page 6, they give you 10 separate examples or types of attention getters or hooks for you to use, as well as 4 things or 4 ideas you should never use. The one that we're going to choose for this essay is a historical review. So you will use the information provided through the historical context, which is the background, as well as the 2 bullets for your task to help you think of a historical review. The example that we thought of together was Native Americans' lives in the New World has changed drastically in the past 500 years. It doesn't say anything up here, it doesn't give a time frame for 500 years. It does say they came in direct conflict, so we chose a statement that addressed that the lives in the New World of the Native Americans changes drastically over the past 500 years. That including 500 to about 2000, so the past 500 years. So there's part 1, the hook, that's finished. That's just one sentence. The second part is going to be restating or paraphrasing the historical context. So you can see here what we wrote is similar to what is here in the historical context up top here, but it is not the exact same. It's written in student-friendly language. So we wrote, European nations were searching for a trade route to Asia and instead landed in the New World. When they first came into contact with the Native Americans, they found many tribes who each had their own unique and diverse cultures. And then the third part of your intro is turning the 2 tasks or the 2 bullets that are given to you at the beginning of your assignment into one fluid sentence. This is going to be your controlling idea or your thesis. This is the idea that you argue or defend throughout your entire essay. So here we took these 2 bullets, these 2 ideas, and combined it into one sentence. The once flourishing cultures of the Native Americans were greatly impacted by the European settlements established during the Age of Exploration. Okay, when you take a look at what it would look like in Microsoft Word when you start typing, don't forget we need to make sure that we're starting with an MLA heading. For example, George Washington is writing this essay. So student's name, your teacher's name, for me, Mr. Kataya. The class is Social Studies 7 for 7th grade. And this is George Washington is in period 2. And then the date, don't get caught on the date, it's a little bit tricky. You put the actual day of the month first, the 15th of October in 2013, and notice there's no commas anywhere within this. In addition, you need to make sure that you have a last name and a page number in your header. So if you come to the top of the page and click it twice, the easiest way to get this over here in the proper way, you go to page number, top of page, and you do plain number 3. When I had clicked on that, it put the actual number up here, and then you come to the left and you actually type in the name. So you'll see if you go down to the second page, it has Washington, second page. So you can take a look again. And lastly, you have the title of your essay. I titled this European Exploration. So your introductory paragraph, really, independently, you had to come up with one sentence on your own, and this is the hook. The historical review. Native American lives in the New World has changed drastically in the past 500 years. The next 3 to 4, even 5 or 6 sentences is going to be restating the historical context. You take the words and the sentences that are given to you in your assignment, right here, the historical context, and you put it into your own words. European nations were searching for a trade route to Asia and instead landed in the New World. When they first came into contact with the Native Americans, they found many tribes who had each had their own unique and diverse cultures. And then lastly, you take your task, which are the 2 bullets describing the cultures of Native Americans prior to the arrival of Europeans and explaining the impact of these European settlements on the lives of the Native Americans, and combining it into one sentence. The once flourishing cultures of the Native Americans were greatly impacted by the European settlements established during the Age of Exploration. This idea you'll be addressing in both body paragraphs.